Hi, Support Fibro friends. It's Melissa from Support Fibro, and I'm joined by two very special guests, Juana and Estela from Looms For Lupus. We're excited to have them on to talk about Proclamations and May Awareness Month. Let's get it started.
Hi, Melissa. Thank you for inviting us. I am Estela Mata. I'm one of the co-founders for Looms For Lupus. Looms For Lupus is a nonprofit organization that was created to support those living with lupus, fibromyalgia, and overlapping conditions, and including mental health. So together, we started this organization over 10 years ago. And one of the things that we want to do and like to do is to empower those living with the illness and or the loved ones to raise their voices and be heard. And one of the ways to do this is by advocating, and Proclamations is one. So I'm glad that you invited us, Melissa, to talk about Proclamations, since May is coming up shortly and we need to get our voices heard.
And I'm Juana Mata. I'm the other co-founder of Looms For Lupus, and I am a lupus patient, fibromyalgia, and other autoimmune conditions.
And well, I'm so glad you could join us. I would just special shout out to people with empathy who are also like joining us for this May awareness, and anyone else. I just, before we get in, because I know it's fibromyalgia, lupus, mental health, EDS, ME/CFS, and Lyme awareness months, right? So
yes. we almost have it all covered in May, right?
I think everybody should join in with the proclamations and get the assistance that they need to spread, and all our chronic illnesses working together. But definitely I know we've had a lot of questions on like how-tos and the whys. So I'd love to hear from both of you, because I want to share all the pictures that you've had from all your proclamations. It's so cool, and you help out your members and you have people posting. And just sort of start off by saying maybe like what are proclamations, why should we get involved, and then maybe some of the how-to processes.
Okay, so one of the things that, again, like you mentioned, Melissa, what we have been doing is empowering patients. And one way to bring awareness is by not only speaking about lupus or fibromyalgia or whatever illness that you have or you want to advocate for or raise awareness for, but there's different ways of doing it, right? So we can do it through social media. We could post information about the illness. We can post information about how we're dealing with it. I have fibromyalgia. I live with fibromyalgia, so does my daughter, and my sister has lupus, RA, and we have a lot of autoimmune. So basically what it is, what advocacy and what proclamations are, is to kind of just put it in writing and have not only your community support you, but also have the support from the mayor. So you can do this. You can request a proclamation, which is literally a written statement indicating that in that city, they are declaring the specific illness, whether it's lupus, fibromyalgia, ME/CFS. What is it? My brain just went. And is it ME?
Yeah, ME/CFS.
Okay. And or mental health. And what we do is we request that proclamation from our local mayors. What they do is they then approve it, and they declare that specific illness or that month in that city of my brain is, I'm sorry, I have not slept, and I usually am so good at talking about this, because this is one of the things that we do. Proclamations are very important because it will stay on the record, and you will have the opportunity not only to accept the proclamation from the city at their city town hall meetings, but you also get the moment to speak and to share information in regards to the illness. So it's really great to do this. So we not only do it at our city of Baldwin Park, but anybody that needs help or assistance requesting a proclamation, you need the specific verbiage that indicates information about the disease. And then, basically just bringing awareness in the city. So we do it at the local level, we do it at the state level, and we've also done it at the national level. So it's been really, really amazing, and we can't do it alone, right? We need to do everything together. And I think we have a bigger impact and a bigger voice if we all get together. So I'm glad that we are working with people with empathy, that we're working with you, and that together we can help other illnesses also amplify their voice. So, you know, my sister is the one, you know, we both work regular full-time jobs, but we do this on the side with Looms for Lupus. And my sister has been the person that has been leading the efforts and guiding and requesting these proclamations. So I'll let Juana kind of talk about what the process is. But I want to encourage everyone, you know, to, even though it seems like it's so, you know, it's such like a legal document, and I'll show you guys what one looks like. And this is a proclamation that we got from the city of Baldwin Park. So I don't know if you guys can see it, last year. So basically, this one is declaring Lupus Awareness Month, and I know it's backwards, but what it reads, it's basically saying, you know, the city of Baldwin Park, or Baldwin Park City Council, declares Lupus Awareness Month in the city of Baldwin Park. And then it has all the signatures from all the city council members and the mayor, and it's really, really good. And it's basically what it indicates what the disease is, who is impacted by the disease, and just statistics on the disease. So it's very, very important to get the verbiage correctly. So if you guys need help with that, we can help you. So sister, do you want to talk about like what the process is?
Like Estela said, you know, it's very important for us to share and bring awareness. And this is a great way to bring awareness by going to our local city halls and requesting the proclamation. And it's not that difficult to request a proclamation. It does take a little time, and a few weeks before the month of May, or sometimes it takes about a month, but the steps are pretty simple. One of the first steps, or what I do, is I call the city hall, or the city clerk, talk to her or him about a proclamation, and they're aware of what a proclamation is. So I speak with them, and I asked if I can request a proclamation. So I like to always call and speak to the person I'm going to be sending it to, and it's usually the city clerk. The next step is when they do agree and accept and ask me to send the information as to the proclamation. I usually follow with an email, and I send the information about what a proclamation is, and the information as to the condition that we're asking the proclamation for lupus, fibromyalgia, mental health. And so I follow with an email information, and they usually at that moment, they'll let me know whether, you know, they're gonna be able to approve it or not, and they'll give me a date. They'll ask me if I want the proclamation to be mailed to me, or if they want me to go in person. Usually us, Looms for Lupus, like to go to the city hall, accept the proclamation, not only my sister or I, or both of us, but we also like to invite the different, you know, we invite caregivers, loved ones, and lupus patients, fibromyalgia patients, mental health patients, to accept the proclamation, because that day, and at the city council meeting, we have the opportunity to speak and share about the condition. And we usually go up to the podium or go to the front and accept the proclamation as a group. So that's what we do. But once the city clerk or the city hall accepts that they are gonna be giving us a proclamation, we like to advertise it. We advertise it on social media, and a lot of the times, if possible, the city hall also advertises or shares information as to what they're gonna have at the city council meeting, or what they're gonna be proclaiming, or what they're gonna be talking about. So pretty much that's what we do. I mean, pretty simple, 5 steps. Contact your local city hall, city clerk. They'll let you know whether they're gonna accept it or not. Usually it's a yes. And they set up a date for May, Lupus Awareness Month, Fibromyalgia, Mental Health. Set up a date for you to receive it with your with the other people that are going to be present. We advertise it, and then we go to the date that we're supposed to be receiving it.
Yeah, and I know we have been talking about like proclamations and advocacy and awareness, but really it's an official document with a seal of the city indicating that, you know, they're declaring, you know, lupus or fibromyalgia awareness month in the city. So that's huge. I mean, for us to be able to accept it, it's not for us. It's not for me. It's not for my sister. It is not for the organization. It is to bring awareness. And that is why we like to invite everyone to come and join. So what I usually do, like my sister was saying, is we publish it. So I'll put posts up on an event and I'll put the location, I'll put the time. So whoever is available is welcome to come. The more people we have accepting the proclamation, the louder we are, and the face that, and we can put the face of the people that are living with these conditions. So it's very, very moving to be able to see the support from the community. So, you know, we have been so lucky, Melissa, that we, that our city, our mayor, the city council members, our assemblywoman, Blanca Rubio, and our local state senator, Susan Rubio, and our congresswoman, Napolitano, from our district are so supportive. You know, we were able to get a proclamation for the state of California. And we were able to, by our senator, and we went to pick it up in Sacramento. And again, it wasn't my sister and I, and it wasn't for Looms for Lupus, it's for the whole community. And we invited people to come to Sacramento. And I know it's hard to fly or to go over there, but people that live locally went there and they met us and they accepted the proclamation with us, and we took a group picture. And I think that's what motivates us and encourages us to continue to do this, is because we see how it empowers people. And I'll just share a quick story about one of the cities. So the city of El Monte, which is our neighboring city, one of the council members actually, I believe, had a friend or has a friend that lives with lupus, and she
a family member,
and she created a huge like a PowerPoint presentation. So we were like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. So we got there and we thought, oh, we're just gonna go and accept the proclamation. So we invited a couple of people. So we had like 3 members of the support group go and attend that are local, that go to that city. And when I saw the presentation, I'm like, oh my gosh, this is amazing, because you never know whose life you're going to touch, or who or how this is going to make a difference for everyone. I know we have been getting a lot of, you know, media right now in regards to lupus, but we want that year long, and we don't want it just to be linked to COVID-19. We want fibromyalgia awareness, you know, that is needed. There are way more people living with fibromyalgia, as you know, Melissa, and you have the stats. I can't think of them right now, but when you have a huge population of those living with fibromyalgia, and you don't see a lot of like proclamations go, you know, be created or asked or see it on social media, I think this is our time to make our voice heard with you. We were able to go to advocacy last year, so I think that was one of the first times. So that's amazing. But we also want to do it locally, so and bring in our communities together, because at the end of the day, I think if we empower each other, I think we'll get better results.
Well, and that's the thing that we want people to remember too. It's for the community. And I know we've had proclamations for fibromyalgia like for a very long time. It's kind of, there are certain people that have kept it up and we've connected with them. And we just want people to know, to like inspire them to get involved, and you can work with each other too. It doesn't have to be just one person only doing a proclamation. I love that you guys had other people join you in Sacramento, and then we shared a post. Was it Catherine from the city of Monrovia? Yes. Which is our neighbors right there. So it's encouraging that everybody can also work together. And I think sometimes we get lost, we lose that sense where it's just like one person is submitting, so you can't do it, but you can all work together to do it together. And that's the greatest information that we need right now, and especially for fibromyalgia with May coming up. So we appreciate you guys sharing this information with us.
Yes, and if anyone needs assistance, I know there's specific verbiage that you want on the proclamation, and one of the things that Juana was talking about is when she calls the city clerk, they will have you either submit a form or submit an email, and they usually want a sample format of the statistics on the illness. So,
There,
you know,
sorry, there. I know there's a few cities that they're no longer accepting well, I still contact them and I speak with the city clerk, but there's a few cities that have asked me to do the application online. And because I have that connection already with the city clerk, I make sure that I call back and I ask to make sure that they did receive it. So a few cities now have asked me to do the request online.
yeah, and the word connection, it just like triggered me to think, I think connecting with each other, connecting with the community, connecting with our local legislators, connecting with our state legislators and our federal legislators, I think is very important, because we want them to know that this is something that's impacting their community. And as constituents, we need to let our leaders know that we need their support. And I think this is one of the best ways to kind of bring it up and bring the attention. Obviously, we do this advocacy and awareness year long, but this is just specifically for this month. And we want to encourage everyone to, again, it seems like it's a lot of work, but we will help you. We are here and we are in this together. So again, if you need assistance, if you need help, you can go to the Fibromyalgia website. You have a couple links there and more information about the Fibromyalgia Proclamation and why it's so important to get the proclamation. And then we also have a link on our website, and we partner with People with Empathy, which hopefully at the end of the month, we will be able to see, or as the proclamations come in, we will be able to see it all lit in the state of California and the United States, a map indicating all the states and cities that were able to get proclamations in the month of May. So can you just imagine if we had like a different proclamation in every city, like how many lights are going to be lit up in that little, visual. I'm visual, so I could picture all kinds of lights on there indicating that we're working together. And it's just amazing. So let's just continue to connect and empower each other, I think.
Definitely. We'll change the map all purple with all this stuff. And for
Right.
mental health, you have a separate proclamation for that as well, right?
Correct. So one of the things that we've realized, and this really, really well, both of you, is living with a chronic illness it's hard. It's not an easy thing. Living and waking up with pain, with migraines, knowing that today you're fine, but tomorrow you may not be, having the brain fog and everything else that goes with it. It takes a toll on our bodies, and not just on our bodies, but also in our brain and our mental health. And it's very important to focus and highlight that. A lot of people don't like to share about how they're feeling or their emotions. And one way to heal is to actually accept your emotions and your feelings. And we need to stop the stigma. So my sister and I, Looms For Lupus, works with our Congresswoman, and we attend the mental health consortium I believe it's like every three months. And you've attended, Melissa, and it is something that we need to continue to raise awareness for. It's not really talked about as much. And I think, especially right now with everything that's going on, you have the chronic illness we're dealing with, we have the pandemic, and then we have, the social distancing. And it's taking a toll on all of us. So mental health awareness is very, very important. So yes, we are raising awareness. So the color, what is it? The lime, the green lime is the color for mental health awareness. And last year we were able to work together alongside with Kaiser Permanente Educational Outreach Program that has a lot of resources for teenagers and for the community. And they promote and they work with the local high schools, and the two high schools, Sierra Vista High School and Baldwin Park High School, have NAMI and NAMI clubs in their schools. And we were able to request a proclamation on behalf of the community, and our mayor was able to address both both high schools and one of the psychiatrists for the Baldwin Park Unified School District, and they came up and we all accepted the proclamation. And again, it's about the community. You brought high school students together, you brought a psychiatrist together, the community outreach center, and then us, and then everyone got to learn about what's happening in the city for mental health. So it's so important for us to do that. And again, we're all impacted some way or another, especially now. So why not bring awareness for mental health as well? So yes, we are so passionate. It's so funny because my sister requested the 3 proclamations, and they're probably thinking, oh my gosh, this girl needs to stop. She has so many requests, right? But she's charming. Look at her. She will talk her way through everything. And like she said, she likes to connect with people. And when you connect with someone and you let them know how important this is to you and how it's impacting and how it's going to help your community, you're leaving the mayor with no choice but to support you, because that's what he's here for, right? To support the community. So yeah, so we actually, my sister, and I think if you want to share, sister, how many you've submitted, but she's been submitting for mental health, for fibromyalgia, and for lupus. So those are the 3 main ones that we are raising awareness for, but you can do this for any illness, any disease during your month of awareness.
Right. So far, I have submitted 10 this year. I know previous years I've submitted 14 or so. This year has been a little difficult due to the pandemic and the fact that a lot of people or a lot of city clerks are just working a few days. So I've only submitted 10 this year. But if anybody needs help, or if anybody wants me to call their city, or for me to just call or do the proclamation, submit that proclamation, let me know. I'll be more than happy to do that. I love doing it. I love connecting with the city clerks, because I do feel that, they do listen, they do hear us out. And as of now, every one of them has been very supportive. So I'll be more than happy to assist anyone in their city. And I don't promise that we're going to be able to go, but as long as you can commit to receiving the proclamation yourself, we'll be more than happy to assist.
Definitely.
Oh yeah, because they may have to receive it through the mail now, which is
Well,
okay.
Right. Actually, this this year has been the city clerks have been asking me if it's okay for me to receive it by mail. So I have accepted that and to receive it by mail this year. But we know that, at the city council meeting, they're still gonna talk about what the proclamation is about. They'll say a little bit about, a lot of the times they read the proclamation for lupus, fibro, or mental health. They'll read it out in their meeting.
Oh, wow, that's really cool. Because
Yes.
we've been encouraging more of our team members. We had one team member talk about doing a fibromyalgia proclamation and getting her daughter to do the mental health one. So there's a lot of high school students out there that want to help with mental health. So this is a whole family. You already have the family involved. So they
have no choice. My poor family.
Well, it's nice to have your family all working together on advocacy.
Yes, that's one of the things. We are so blessed and grateful for having such a supportive family. The bad thing is that we all have all these illnesses, right? So we don't want to have more illnesses. We just want to bring and raise awareness for these things, because I don't want any other illness in our family. But, unfortunately, we do have, fibromyalgia in our family. Mental health, again, is kind of up there with all the chronic conditions that we deal with, lupus, fibromyalgia, rheumatoid arthritis, and the list goes on. But our family, we're very tight. So as you saw, my girls, both Isabella and Cassidy, went to Advocacy Day in 2019 and this year, 2020. And I think it's very, very important to educate our children, because they're our future. They're our future leaders, and they need to know that they have a voice, that they can make a difference, and that they can make change. And with our advocacy and with the awareness, not only can we bring more funding for a specific illness, but we can also create more research and hopefully get better treatments and ultimately a cure for the illnesses. So I think that's the goal, and educating and teaching our kids to follow our footsteps and also be even better and be louder, I think will make a difference in our in the future.
When we did add a segment to the proclamation to acknowledge the youth with the Fibromyalgia Proclamation, so that was the shout out to all our youth living with fibromyalgia. So we added that in the proclamation just for all of you, because many of us had started fibromyalgia in our teens and younger, so we understand, and we're all with you.
Yes, and I think, you know, highlighting with the youth, and I know you've shared your story, Melissa. You were diagnosed with fibromyalgia at the age of 14, correct? The age of 14, and it's very difficult, one, to accept that you have, that there's something going on with your body, right? You're going through all the hormones and everything. You're a teenager, and then to have now this chronic pain and all the other effects of having fibromyalgia, but also knowing and accepting the fact that you're gonna live with this illness for the rest of your life can be a little traumatic, right? Or a lot. And it changes your life. So I think, you know, it's very hard, I think, you know, to be diagnosed at a young age. As you know, Isabella was diagnosed when she was 13. So, you know, as a mom, I wish I could take it away. But what I do is I you know, teach her, I educate her. And I think the sooner we educate them and the sooner they feel empowered and they get the information and then they're able to talk about it and be believed, because that's another thing that you guys as kids probably went through, is people were not believing you that you were in pain, you know, and that must be really hard.
And it's not only hard that other people don't believe you, but the fact that sometimes with fibromyalgia, lupus, it's a condition that's very difficult to get a diagnosis. And even going to the doctor questioning, you know, is it growing pains? Is it this? So, I mean, we all know that lupus, fibromyalgia is very difficult to get diagnosed, and it takes a few years. So that, yeah, educating, learning, it's really gonna help.
And empowering, because
Right.
how did you do it, Melissa? Like what at the age of 14, were you exposed to any awareness, any advocacy, anything like this?
No, I mean, this was 1994, so there was nothing like social media or any of this as far as groups go. So I didn't have any of that online connection at all until much later.
Yeah.
Right.
And I think it's so hard to have to deal with this alone. And I think one of the beauty of technology and the fact that we're being forced to, you know, during this pandemic to connect more through social media, I think it has helped a lot because we can connect with each other, and you know, we don't always have to come in front of the camera. We could just tune in, and I think it's going to help you know, the youth, especially right now. Imagine our seniors, and you know, Isabella is one of those seniors. Imagine them having to deal with that already, and then on top dealing with like fibromyalgia, and it's overwhelming. So if you give them a little bit of empowerment and let them know that they're not alone and that they can actually, that they do have a voice and that they can make a difference, I think it'll encourage a lot of those people to take action.
Well, I definitely want to bring all of this to May and all our awareness actions. I mean, we do this all year round. I watch you guys travel, and I know that now things are virtually, but you're very, very active year round. So that's what we're trying to transpose onto the fibromyalgia community, is year round advocacy and awareness and education. And it's just amplified during May. But to close this out, like, where can everyone, all our Support Fibro friends, find you? Do you have some activities we look forward to May? I'm sure it'll be loaded. I loved your Instagram today. So where can all of us find you on social media?
Okay, so we have the same handle. So we're on Twitter, on Facebook, and on Instagram, and we are at Looms For Lupus. So it's LOOMS, the number 4, Lupus. And I know it just says lupus, but we know we again bring awareness to the 3 different conditions we just talked about. You can follow us there. We try to support as much as we can. you know, and we're here for you. We just want to make sure that you know that you're not alone. So that's where they can find us. We also have a website, www.loomsfor, I'm sorry.
www.loomsforlupus.org.
This is why we need more awareness, because people are going to think I'm a klutz, but
or more coffee.
Right? I need coffee. I haven't
with lupus fibromyalgia, we always have lupus fog, so I do always forget, and I know that fibro is kicking my sister's brain right now, right?
Yes, I'm a hot mess, but it's okay.
Oh, you are not.
It's a hot day.
Great. Your hair is working, both of you.
Yeah, but you know, again, you know, the so we have a website, so you can find us on the 3 social media platforms. We have a website, and if you on there, Melissa, we have the connection to your website as well. But if they go to your website, I think we're connected, and we're also working with people with empathy. So again, you know, let us know how we can help you. If you don't want to go to those, you know, on social media or read about it, you can just simply send us an email at info@loomsforlupus.org, and you can also send us a private message. So we run the social media, so we'll respond to those messages.
Well, thank you both for joining us. I'm excited because we want all these proclamations to go out.
Yes.
And again, if anybody needs help, they can reach out to us. We'll be more than happy to help. And if anybody wants me to call their local city because they don't feel comfortable doing it, I'll be more than happy to start the process.
Yes.
We start a phone line service between all
I
of us.
know, right? Maybe you can do this. You're the techie one, Melissa. You can get it all together in one spot. But again, you know, most likely the cities are not going to be, you know, giving you the proclamation at a city hall meeting, but they will mail it to you. So once we get these all out, and we want to start the process now. I don't think we talked about it. We want to start it like as soon as possible because May is around the corner, and we want to get them before May so they can get on the agenda. And again, this is all public record, so it will stay there forever. So that's the amazing part of it. They're official documents. And then also, once you get it, please take a picture of the proclamation, and you and your family members. I don't want you to like get a group together, like just whoever is living with you. And take a picture and send it to us. And then we will share it and we'll post it all over social media because we want to bring everyone together. We want to empower everyone to do this. Again, if you don't want your picture all over social media, because some people may be shy, take a picture of the proclamation that you received and then just tag us. And should we do some sort of tag or something, Melissa? I didn't even think about this. I just thought about it now.
Well, we haven't picked lupus, or do you guys have a tag?
We just do Looms for Lupus, but we want to do, maybe we should do a tag like just like May awareness or something like that. And we can post that so you guys know once you guys get it. We'll give you instructions on how to send us the picture and then how to tag it if you put it on your social media. That way we could all share it. And we want to make, you know, we want to be loud. We want to be loud during the whole year, but in May, it's specifically dedicated to these illnesses. So,
and there's still time, so reach out to us. If not, you can contact your local city hall, city clerk, and start the process for a proclamation. But usually, you want to start at the end of March, the beginning of April, so that you can start getting everything ready for May.
But there's always time, so
yeah.
We'll get it going. Thank you so much. Be sure to check out Looms for Lupus, and you'll be seeing much more content coming up in May. Support Fibro friends. We'll see you next time. Bye.
Alrighty. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.
Okay.